Hello everyone, how's it going? So I want to start this video off like I've started off almost all my marathon videos with. I platinumed this game. I put in over 100 hours. I've experienced this game. And right here, this is what I expected would happen because the game just simply did not have the content, nor did it find the audience necessary to sustain a live service game. Yes, it is a live service game. You pay $40 for the entry fee, and they are dependent on microtransactions. This is a live service game. Every update coming past the point of purchasing is free. So I don't know where these people get that this isn't a live service game, but that's also been a delusional count for this game. It is live service. So yeah, this game is essentially just failing dramatically, and there are a lot of factors to this. First off, content distribution has been very slow. The latest content for Season 2 has been abysmal because they didn't really add anything. They added a P versus E light mode. They made Dire Marsh dark and added a new area to that section with a reused USC soldier as the boss fight. It's basically just a toxic warden with a sniper rifle. The Cryo Archive is still the endgame content that people are trying to get to, but it's the same thing we've been dealing with since Season 1. The new shell is just... it's kind of just like a reskin destroyer shell, and ultimately it just doesn't have the content necessary to sustain this type of game because they sunsetted Destiny 2 despite the fact that it ended on a massive cliffhanger. The Destiny IP has nothing in development, no Destiny 3. They laid off a large portion of Bungie, including most of the Destiny team who are either working on Marathon now or have been completely laid off, and they're just focusing on this game, which... the fact they're so snail when it comes to this content update for a game that desperately needs it is shocking. And then they had the free week, which you can see the spike of players right here, but that didn't transition to long player retention. So this was the free week. It was a failure. Let's just state facts for what it is. It didn't lead to long-term success, and a lot of players, I'm guessing, when they saw this happen, it just said, we're just gonna go. Now, the Marathon community is trying to rally together and have a revival week. I don't think this is gonna go anywhere because it's a lot to ask for when you have to purchase the game to try a game that has less than 5,000 players at some certain points. People are not playing this game, and even though I like this game, I like the lore around it, this game should have had a single player campaign complemented with the extraction shooter part. Like, it should have been like Halo Reach, where you had the campaign, you had the multiplayer, and then you would dish out expansions to paid expansions like Destiny 1, where literally you can buy that entire game with all its expansions for one flat price. Unlike Destiny 2, where you still don't have access to everything. And I've seen the coping with that game. Guys, that game's Red War campaign should be in the base game. It should. Everything that you ever paid for, because people who buy Destiny 2, they do buy the Red War because technically it is in the game. It's just delusional. I don't care what people say about the lawsuit or any of that, or the incompatibility stuff. They should have found a way to try and put it in the game. But yeah, this game just doesn't have the same level of content offering as Destiny 2. The updates have been slow. It's just not been good. And when it comes to the revival event, well, let's just read this together. Marathon Revival Week, the 21st to 28th. This is not because the game is dead. First off, guys, stop lying. Just stop. Yes, a dead game is different context depending on the person, especially with their own personal beliefs, but you can still buy this game and play it, but dear God. And one of the biggest negativity when it comes to the Marathon community is the fact that they just have this immense sense of pride and delusion. Like, I've seen it firsthand. Like, I posted on Reddit once, just one sentence, I think they should add a P versus E mode. And I got banned. Just to put into context, I literally just said that, and they banned me from the Reddit for Marathon. So, this right here isn't helping anyone. Like, be honest. It's to boost our current numbers and thrive. Again, it contradicts the first statement. I swear to God, no one pays attention in English class anymore. They just write stuff. Like, guys. Bungie created something truly special, and we all know it. Look, the Marathon community they have found a community when it comes to the Marathon player base, but it's just not big enough. But, yeah, like, the first and last sentence of those bullet points, guys. Like, the second one I agree with, but Guys, be honest. One more runner challenge. Invite one friend, only one. Not several, and not your entire gaming group. One is more realistic and definitely impactful if you show them the ropes. Buy them the game if you have to. I've done this twice. Tell them they can refund it if they hate it. That's actually very sad, because first off, the squads are players of 3. To teach them all the mechanics would require require just as much time, like 1 to 2 hours of just explaining them the various different systems, especially if they played the game once during season 1 and now season 2 is introduced. They have to relearn everything because they introduced a brand new system in terms of the leveling system. So yeah, know a streamer, ask them to help. People will follow streamer influencers. It may only take time to truly make the difference. Okay, that's a good tip. Shift the culture for a week. Use proc chat to be friendly and help newcomers. No one's going to do that. No one is going to do that. I put 100 hours into this game. I tried doing that, and I have a clip, I'll link it below if I find it, of me trying to help a rook. You know what happened? The second he got down, everyone just dogpiled on him. No one is friendly in this game. It is shoot first, ask questions later. I try to work together, but again, no. No one is working together in this game. Hop into a looking for group Discord and help guides folk. Again, that's going to be a tall order. No rook killing unless they shoot at you. What are you talking? Again, not happening. I don't know what game this person has been playing, but no one does that. They will shoot first, ask questions later, and that is because the nonverbal communication in this game fucking sucks. It does. I don't understand how you have a game like Apex Legends, which gives you the template of what to do, and you still fuck it up. Like, I don't understand that. Like, literally, Epic Games immediately copied that and put it into Fortnite, and when Bungie's team was bigger, they could have done that. This game has been in development for multiple years. Why is the non-communication commands somehow this bad? Take someone on their first compiler and cryo run. That is never going to happen. That is never, ever, ever going to happen. Like, if any, like, just for those who are unaware, the cryo run is the end game content, is where people take their best stuff. The compiler is the end game boss. It gives you the best stuff by beating this boss. No fucking way, and I mean that, is someone who has the most elite gear going to take someone there. No one. No one's going to hold your hand. Because guess what? It's kill first. Because you know for a fact those people are rocking the best equipment and gear. No freaking way. Everyone's going to ambush everyone. I don't know what this person is smoking. Not happening, buddy. Post content clips with the unified Marathon Revival Week. Marathon lives. Again, this contradicts your first and your last bullet point. Proofreading is a skill people do not use as much. Like, if you were just open and honest from the beginning, saying, hey, the game is struggling, we have very little amount of players, let's try and get more people into this. Like, there is actually a really good example of this. It's called Fallout 76. That game was such a disaster when it launched. It technically still is, but you know what they did? They actually did a lot of the stuff they did here, but the thing is, Fallout 76 is a very different game. A lot of players would actually wait outside the starting area with full power armor, elite gear, and they would just drop stuff for players. They would say, oh, you're level 1, you're just starting out, here's a bunch of high-end loot, go nuts. Or they would actually bring players to high-end areas, protect them. Like, I can't remember the YouTube channel, it does like these little shorts with this guy with a big head, but he did it. And that's exactly how the community is in Fallout 76. They literally help all newcomers when it comes to that. But that's the thing. In Fallout 76, that type of community gathering is encouraged. And in Marathon, it's actually discouraged. Like, you're supposed to kill people on site, especially in the Cryo Archive. Like, the compiler, literally people just camp the compiler. Especially players who have beaten the game. Essentially beating the compiler. They will camp in the compiler room and just wait for players to come in just to kill them. So, review elevation. Pump up already, positive reviews higher. Okay, that is against Steam's terms of service. I know that for a fact. You are not allowed to artificially increase the review score for any game. Like, there are ways, like if you played the game for more than 2 hours, and they do have notes that say how long the person has played the game, what PC specs they have, and all that. But I'm pretty sure artificially and encouraging other people to artificially increase the review score for Steam is against the TOS, because if a bunch of developers just gave you a bunch of keys and said, hey, play the game for a certain amount of time or just leave it running and then put a review, that would look really bad. So tell me if I'm wrong or right, because I don't use Steam a lot, but now I'm starting to use it more because of the whole PlayStation fiasco and Xbox, just like all these anti-consumer practices. I'd rather give my money to Valve. But tell me what you think. So have another idea, comment, and share. Look, I think that what the person is trying to do here is positive. They want to save a game they really love. But openly lying that the game is not dead or dying is not a good look, because a lot of people already have negativity going to the marathon community. I've had my own experience. Like I said, I was banned from the Reddit for asking, hey, maybe they should add a P versus E mode. Again, I wasn't hostile. I just gave recommendations, and then I just got banned for that one statement. So they're not wrong that there's a lot of contention when it comes to this community, and there's a lot of delusion to this. Like, I get you like the game, but let's state facts for what they are and start to move on from there. Like, you can't ignore something that is factual and attempt to move forward from that. You have to look at this and say, okay, how do we improve this? How do we change this? What are the bullet points of why this game is failing? And then move from that. And the same thing that Bungie is probably doing right now, because this right now, Sony has shut down studios for far less. Look what happened to Blue Point Games. So, yeah, I just don't think this is going to happen, because when you have an entire free week and it still didn't save your game, people have already voted. They have stated, hey, this is what we're looking at. And I've seen a lot of people who say, hey, I bought 2 copies, 3 copies of this game. That does not translate to actual player retention. Just because you bought 3 copies does not mean jack shit if there aren't players actively playing the game. And I also think that the idea of live service is just dead right now. Like, when Fortnite is struggling, you know it's bad, because right now everyone is just tired of live service. They're becoming aware of ownership and physical media in general, and know that live services are just a ticking time bomb. They also understand that, hey, they've already dedicated so many hours and so much money to a specific live service. Having to pull them away to another one is next to impossible, especially when you have a $40 asking price. And when your content is basically coming out at a snail's pace, that's another issue. The player count is extremely low. You have an extremely hostile and vindictive community who attacks people for even giving recommendations if they're a part of your community. There are so many factors to this. I think the first thing they have to do is just be honest and say, hey, this game is dying, we need help, let's try and be nicer to people, try and be a more welcoming community, and try and state facts for what they are. But I also think this lies largely on Bungie. Bungie needs to look at this and say, hey, we need to make some really drastic changes, like a No Man's Sky level of changes right now. So I think the best thing they can do right now is, one, by somehow, they need to put a single player campaign. Like, I don't know why that wasn't the focus at the beginning, doing it similar to Destiny 1, where basically shells would come in and out during this open space, and there would be closed-knit dungeons and areas that you can go into. That would have been so incredible. They also have to introduce an actual P versus E mode where players can go into a map and just shoot and kill things to their heart content. Allow them to bring their own equipment in, to remove that restriction. It's just bullshit. Limit it. Like, instead of getting players who can just farm this equipment, make it that they can only get a certain tier of equipment, and they get the higher level of equipment, they have to go into the P versus P mode, but make it P versus E, and you can go in there with your equipment, because that idea that you have to take a sponsor kit, it's killing everything. And then finally, they need to add new maps. Like, not these night variants like Dire Marsh and stuff like that. They need to add maps, actual new maps. And that's killing the game as well. Not to mention the enemy pool. Like, I'm going to do a lore video why I think the enemy pool is like the way it is. It's just speculation. But you guys need to add some more enemies. Like, something out there. Like the whole mutated husk that uses like the shell body parts of discarded runners. That was a cool idea. It adds to the sci-fi horror that I love this game about. Do more of that. Like, do that crazy just body horror of shells being taken control of this anomaly. That would have been super cool. But again, that's going to require a lot of work and a lot of dedication. Maybe behind the scenes they are working on this and they're trying to do a No Man's Sky or level of revival. But first thing, be honest. Do not lie. Everyone can see you're lying. Be honest. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Love to hear your opinion. If they do any of the positive things I just announced, I would likely re-download the game and start playing again. But until then, I'm still going to keep it uninstalled because there's nothing encouraging me to come back. And especially considering that anything I gather will be erased in the next season. So literally no point to play anymore. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Love to hear your opinions. That's it for me. Bye.